This is the Top Crypto Podcast, Episode 1. This is the Top Crypto Podcast, where cryptocurrency founders share with our users the path that they've taken to get to where they are today.
Each episode features in-depth project details, personal interactions with a core team member, behind-the-scenes info, and sometimes even blockbuster announcements.
Our show aims to shed light on lesser-known cryptocurrency projects to provide our listeners the need-to-know information about buying their tokens.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Tyler, and here's today's episode. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Top Crypto Podcast. This is Tyler here with my co-host Jerry, and our guest for the day, Mr. Alex Lubinsky. He is the CEO of the cryptocurrency project Rentberry. Rentberry is a transparent home rental service and a price negotiation platform, uniting tenants and landlords. It automates all the standard rental tasks, from submitting your personal information, credit reports, and custom offers, to email, to e-signing rental agreements and online rental payments. Rentberry is already well known internationally, and they have actually been depicted by many local news publications such as Inc., Forbes, and Huffington Post. Rentberry plans to offer their blockchain real estate infrastructure to tenants and landlords around the world by partnering with local credit bureaus, banks, insurance companies, cryptocurrency exchanges, property management companies, you name it. Alex, thank you very much for coming on the show today, man. We're very happy to have you here.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, Taylor. My pleasure.
Awesome.
Hey, Alex. This is Jerry.
Hi, Jerry.
I basically wanted to ask a little bit more about yourself and how you started the project of Rentberry. Can you give us a little bit background?
Sure, absolutely. So we started the company back in 2015. I guess we are, pretty unique in the blockchain and crypto space because we actually are running company and a running business. We have, users. We have product developed. We have all of those, of a successful company. We raised millions of dollars from, VC investors and high-profile angel investors even prior to doing our token sale. But the company, yes, so we started back in 2015, and the reason we decided to build, absolutely closed loop and transparent rental platform is because it took almost 27 days for my partners and myself to find and rent the place in the city back at that time. And the process was pretty horrible. I would even say it's, pretty horrendous. The reason it took us so long is because, historically, prior to existence of Rentberry, you have, a whole bunch of what they call themselves rental platforms like Craigslist, Zillow, Trulia, and this list goes on and on. But essentially, all of them are classifieds. So they have limited value creation for tenants and landlords. All they offer is the ability to look at the pictures, look at the description of the property, and that's pretty much it. And then you, as a potential applicant, as a potential tenant, you need to go through lots of manual tasks, such as calling the landlord, scheduling open house visits manually. And then, once you're ready to apply for the property, you have no idea who else submitted offers and applications. And essentially, you participate in under-the-table bidding wars. With absolutely zero information and knowledge, and you, in most of the cases, you end up losing the place to somebody else who maybe offered $20 or $30 more. And you have absolutely no idea who is offering what kind of offers for the rental price and rental security deposits. So essentially, at that time, our goal was to build a system which would make tenants and landlords, like each other and not hate each other.
That's a difficult task.
It is a difficult task, but I think we are pretty close to be, very successful in it. And we'll, already have thousands of users on the platform. And as a matter of fact, we processed, I just checked the numbers a couple of days ago, 400,000, actually more than 400,000 properties on the platform. Essentially, all of those properties were shown and to potential users by landlords, agents, and brokers, and property management companies throughout the existence of the business. So yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like you guys were formed before you went to a blockchain. Is that correct?
Yes. So the blockchain component and the smart contracts, all of this started last year. I would say like in April, May of the last year, and it started because we started to receive number of different emails from potential customers, like tenants, saying to us that, guys, I mean, we love the platform. We very user friendly. Intuitive design, love the concept, but why don't you look more closely into the area of rental deposits? And we never even questioned and kind of looked deeply into that specific segment of the rental process. We do offer ability, people to customize offers and customize rental deposits and make rental deposit payments through the platform, but never to the extent of looking at the solution of how we can potentially save tenants money by minimizing rental deposits. And then when we started looking more closely, we realized something really interesting, that actually more than half $500 billion is blocked in rental deposits worldwide. I mean, this number is just staggering. I mean, it's huge. Yeah. I think it's even more than capitalization of some of the banks in the United States. And the problem is that this money is frozen for more than 20 years, if you look at the time frame, because when people graduate university at the age of 21, and when they actually buy their first property at the age of 43, 45, they rent throughout all of this time period. Yeah. So they rent for like 20 plus years. They can switch different landlords, right? But the point is that still, I mean, I can switch landlords, but I still take rental deposit from one landlord and then freeze it and essentially block it again with another landlord. So this money is always blocked. And we just feel it's absolutely unfair to block this huge pile of cash for everybody, because all people are different. Some people are more qualified than the other individuals. Some people will never damage the place. As a matter of fact, most people, like 99% of the people, never damage the place. It's really funny statistics. And that's kind of our goal with the blockchain technology and smart contracts, because this is the only way to utilizing blockchain to make this happen. There is no other technology exists on the market as of today which would allow for seamless kind of solution to this problem.
So you're referring to the crowdsourcing of a rental deposit, correct?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty neat idea.
Yeah. So our goal is essentially, to summarize it, is basically the following: that there are people which are in need of money, or basically would like to save on rental deposits. Myself, I would love to save on rental deposits. I mean, in San Francisco, the rental prices are just staggering, and if you count the rental deposits, it just becomes way too expensive. And I would love to save thousands and thousands of dollars, which I essentially, blocked 5 years ago. And till this moment, I never saw this money back. And probably will not see this money back for the next, 10 years or so. I would more prefer to pay, really small monthly fee, maybe $5, maybe $10, to somebody who would be able to cover, this security deposit on my behalf. And
absolutely.
The problem is that when we're talking about US dollars, right, there is no financial institution, there is no insurance company, there is no banks which would actually offer the service to the individuals, because for them it's just not maybe so appealing. But if you look at the other side of this market, there are a whole bunch of people, millions and millions of people who are actually looking for ways to diversify their investment portfolios and potentially invest the money in somewhere. So they invest in stocks, they invest in bonds, they buy real estate. And, they just have many of those people, millions of people have just money in savings accounts. And in savings accounts, this money just it's just sitting there, generating zero, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And in some cases, like when you look at the European banks, they have negative interest rates. So essentially, people who have money in the banks, they actually losing money.
Yeah.
They're actually losing money because that's how European government, they trying to boost spending and to boost the European economy. So that's essentially they punish people if they have money in the savings accounts. So that's kind of the solution where the blockchain and utilizing our cryptocurrency is essentially offering ability for the people, for one group of people, to go out and help another group of people through the blockchain and through utilization of Berry cryptocurrency, which we own. And this way, tenants will be able to save on rental deposits, and we do want to make sure that they will be able to save up to 90% of rental deposits. And the reason I say up to 90% because we still will require tenants to put down 10%. Essentially, it will be like a deductible. Let's put it this way. So the tenants will not just feel that everything is taken care of and they can just damage the place and somebody else will pay for these damages. So essentially, the 10% will be obliged to be paid by the tenants. But the other 90% is basically that's where the people would come in and they will help those tenants out.
That's really cool stuff. I didn't know that about the European banks.
Yeah.
But what about your team? How did you find people to join your team? And is there anyone on your team that has any notable experience in the industry? I mean, it seems like you guys clearly started in 2015, so you do have some experience in the industry, but whether it be how did you get people to join your company originally, or were there more people added to your company once you started using blockchain technology?
Yep, excellent question. So, when we started the company back in 2015, we only had 3 individuals. So essentially, it's like 3 partners. We got CTO, we got myself, and we got the designer and chief product officer. Sorry, 4 people. And then we raised money. We got really high profile investors. We raised capital, and then we slowly started to build the team and expand the product in different stages. So now we have about 35, 37 people.
Oh, wow.
In about 30 days, we probably will have about 45 people. And about 20 days ago, we had 23 people. So that just shows the growth path. So
definitely.
So right after the token sale, we had about 23 people, and our goal is right now to basically double in size, and we almost there. So basically, we'll have about 45 people or so in about 20 days in the middle of June, beginning of June of this year. And, to answer your questions, how we found those individuals, it's easy and hard, I would say. The easy part is because we definitely building a really unique and disrupting technology, and so many people would just love to join our company and to be part of this trend, right? Part of this
the movement.
Movement, essentially. Absolutely, yeah. Be it the blockchain movement and the ability for the people to save millions and millions of dollars and to help them out to save that much money, or be it just to have the absolutely transparent rental platform and build the next kind of Airbnb, but in the long-term rental space. Because Airbnb in the short-term rental space, but we are essentially trying to become the internationally dominant company in the long-term rental space. So that's kind of, many people just would love to join the company like ours. The hard part, I guess, is to find the best and most qualified individuals.
Yeah.
And that's at the scale at which we grow, right? Because it's one thing to find 2 people in 6 months, but it's absolutely different, task to find 20 people in 2 months.
Double your size, yeah.
Exactly. So that's kind of challenging part, but we are just solving this. I mean, we're tapping all our connections that we can. We have lots of HRs working and helping us to build it, to find the talent and build the team.
Yeah, I think that's a general trend that we are coming to find after doing a lot of these interviews now is for the most part, that's the most difficult task that some of CEOs and hiring actually people are encountering, is the quality of those workers and employees that you can bring on, because blockchain has been around for a few years now, but it's matured quite fastly. So I think I read a report somewhere that was pretty interesting that said for every, I think it was 20 blockchain jobs, there's actually like 2 individuals who are properly trained for that position. So it was quite interesting to me to read something like that. I wanted to touch actually, Jerry, if you don't mind, I'm going to take over here. I wanted to touch a little bit on your ICO, because this is a different type of company than we've actually interviewed before. We've never brought on a company on this show before that has been in existence prior to their ICO or prior to creating their blockchain company. So you stated that you guys kind of began with 4 individuals, I assume including yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of those 4 people, how did you guys go about, I mean, obviously you realized the need for the blockchain space within the rental community. What made you decide to pursue an ICO?
Okay, so just to be sure, just want to clarify. So 4 people were back in 2015.
Okay.
Last year, prior to ICO, we already had 23 people.
I see. Okay, so you've scaled quite a bit prior to blockchain then.
Oh yeah. Okay. Because I mean, we are running company. Even prior to token offering, we were really successful in running company. Essentially, having lots of customers, lots of properties, lots of investors, and not just any investors, but I'm talking about some really high-profile VC funds and institutional investors. So, and we had running product. In terms of the ICO in general, so we had a choice to go the route to raise Series A round in order to expand the business even further, or to offer opportunity for potential future users of the platform to participate in our ecosystem, right? Sure. At the early stage. And we analyzed those 2 alternatives, and we decided to go with the token offering, because in this case we solving 2 problems. Problem number 1, essentially thousands of people who would love to use our ecosystem and our platform. They essentially will get our cryptocurrency, and the second thing is that we will not have any dilution whatsoever, which we would expect with the kind of normal Series A.
Sure,
round.
Absolutely. Why would you want to do that if you don't have to, right?
Exactly. And plus we're getting our future at that time essentially kind of our customers.
Sure, absolutely.
Onboarding on the platform. So that's kind of solving 2 things.
Yeah, touching on the ICO, how much did you guys target to raise, and how much did you guys actually wind up raising with the ICO?
So our target was 30 million. We did hit the hard cap, so we raised basically 30 million.
Great.
And so we are pretty successful in this. And what else? Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Okay. I just I'm asking a couple questions here because we do like to compile a number of statistics on the companies that we bring on here. Sure. So just touching on that, so you raised $30 million for your ICO. In terms of total token supply currently, are you currently in full circulation? Are there?
So there are the exact numbers I do not remember, okay. But basically approximate is 300 and I believe Basically, around 300 million tokens is a total supply, and around 250 million in circulation or so.
Okay.
That's kind of approximate numbers, but on the Etherscan, there are much more exact numbers there,
absolutely,
as of today.
And we'll make sure to pull them as well. Token distribution. Do you know percentages of what percent went to the team in terms of what percent went to the ICO?
Sure. So the way we structured this is a 70% went to the users of the platform, people who contributed and bought our essentially got our cryptocurrency. The 20% went to the Rentberry as a company. We call it reserve fund, and this fund is used for marketing, promotion, that kind of stuff, to promote the business. And 10% went to the team.
Okay, great. Jerry, I'm not sure if you wanted to touch on some of the platform related questions.
Yeah, I wanted to get into your actual product that you're offering. So, do you have a beta version right now, or do you have a full working product? If not, when do you plan on rolling that out?
So we do have a full working product. People can already go and use our product. It's rentberry.com. People can use our crypto to make also payments on the platform for different types of services. But there's much more things which we want to incorporate and expand our business. And this year it will be a really nice year for new functionality which we plan to release. So it will be really big year. And for example, this summer we will release mobile versions, iOS and Android applications which people can utilize and essentially do apartment rentals on the go.
I think that's definitely necessary.
Yep. The other thing is for example, the rental deposits. So we are in process of kind of finalizing that piece of functionality, and we plan to have it this year as well, sometimes at the end of the summer. We also plan to offer people ability to do some other stuffs with the crypto as well, pay for the rental applications in the future as well, do kind of rental payments in crypto as well, and some other things. Yeah.
Okay, well, so in terms of fee structure, can you tell me what that looks like on the platform?
So the fee is the following: that if individual would want to rent a place, right now they pay pretty much like $10 per application. With every single application right now, we pull a credit report and background check on this specific tenant. Then we also charge brokers and basically landlords, high volume landlords. By high volume landlords, I mean landlords that manage more than 3 properties on the platform. Because for us, if you manage more than 3 properties, meaning that you are probably in the rental business.
Yeah.
So for example, landlords, we charge. Let me see. I think we charge them like $24 if they are high volume landlords, and we charge same amount, $24.99 agents and brokers to utilize our services. They can also pay in crypto. In crypto, it's twice as cheap, so it is equivalent.
So it's like an incentive.
Yeah, it's equivalent of $12 and basically 50 cents. So this way we incentivize individuals to actually use our cryptocurrency for the payments and not to use US dollars, because it's just cheaper to go this way. Also, landlords and brokers, they can use our service to promote their properties through the syndication. We offer this ability essentially to market the property to other platforms, and thus people can save time and money, as a matter of fact. But it costs around $50 per property for a 30-day period of promotion.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's I mean, definitely for for the ability to minimize vacancy rate. I mean, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of gaining more traction and say mass adoption of your project, do you have any marketing plans in place that you intend to use to attract more investors or more people using your product?
Sure. So we are not, right now planning to raise kind of Series A round. So we are not, shopping for any of the investors. The usability of the platform, we basically doing it in a number of ways. So we plan to expand to other regions this year, including countries like Australia, New Zealand, UK, Canada, and Korea as well. So those kind of our primary regions. We in process of establishing partnerships there. So essentially, from the day one, we'll have a really strong support from the local companies in real estate in those regions, and so that's kind of one thing. The PR kind of marketing, like social media marketing, I don't even want to go there because that's kind of a standard thing. Everybody does it, and we do so as well.
Sure.
So it's kind of we call it like standard package.
Yeah, absolutely.
But definitely like partnerships and definitely international expansion of our already live product. This is something that's really crucial for us, and we're working kind of full time on this to make this happen.
Okay, that's good stuff. Tyler's gonna finish up the interview with a section we call the Fast Four.
All right, so
you want to go ahead?
Yeah,
Tom?
I'm gonna take over, Alex. I normally ask the same 4 questions to everybody to wrap up the interview here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started here. Yeah, number 1, where can users go to purchase your token if they would like to purchase it?
So users can go on different exchanges, including IDX, including HitBTC at this time to buy our tokens.
Awesome. On average, this is question number 2. On average, how many hours of sleep are you getting a night? You getting a full 8?
Probably 4. 4 to 5, I would say.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's pretty busy time. 4 to 5.
That's a good sign, though.
Yep.
Number 3, can you give me one piece of software that your team uses, that you guys can't live without?
I probably would say, absolutely. I probably would say Slack.
Slack, okay, great.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Great. And number 4, any exciting, I know that you mentioned you're working on a couple international partnerships and everything. Are there any exciting upcoming announcements that you guys can share with us for our listeners?
There is a huge one about Korea, which we hope to share, in the upcoming months or so. But I mean, I can't really disclose the name of the company or at which stage it is. But it's definitely something that we are really, really excited for. We feel that this, our technology plus, that company with which we in the process of partnering, it's absolutely great synergy between those 2 companies, something that will offer unbelievable results at the end.
Awesome.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you let us know. Yeah, go ahead and let us know whenever you do actually announce it, and we'll be happy to put it on our blog or something for you as well.
Absolutely, we'll do, guys. Absolutely. I mean, it will be big.
Great. So, all right, Alex. Yeah. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the segment here. We just wanted to say thank you very much again for coming on with us today, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap everything up.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me on this podcast, and would love to join another podcast in the future, and hopefully you will invite me again.
Absolutely, I think you guys have a lot of things in motion right now. I think a follow up would be ideal for both of us.
Sure. Okay.
All right, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Take
Alex.
care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everybody, for tuning into our podcast today to hear more about Rentberry and their vision to improve the renting market. If you like this episode, please give whatever channel you're tuning in on a follow, a like, or even a review. We thrive on these things. Next week's episode, Jerry and I bring on Thomas Lukasitis, who is the co-founder of the decentralized blockchain-based online casino, Edgeless. In this next episode, he'll actually provide us with a product announcement that is yet to be revealed anywhere else. So please make sure to tune in next Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Central Time to check it out. For any questions, show suggestions, or sponsorship inquiries, please send them to contact@topcryptopodcast.io. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you guys next week.